Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Music and Moonsaults. I'm your host, Chris Bourdine, back for the new year, and I've got Matt Durr with me today. How's it going, Matt?
Fantastic. I was a little caught off guard by what we're doing today, and I'm excited to get into it now.
Well, I got to thinking. I was going through my, I put together this big. Sorry, I should have told you to turn the mic on. I was going through. I put together a big spreadsheet every year, for potential matches to watch here on the channel. And I'm looking, and with the passing of Don West recently, and then, so I kind of wanted to pay tribute to him. And then also, women's wrestling right now is a hot topic with the former Sasha Banks showing up in New Japan, and is she going to show up in AEW, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of wanted to do those things here. And there's a match from Final Resolution 2008 between it's a no DQ match between Gail Kim and Awesome Kong that's very highly regarded. And I figured we could watch that today and kind of. I don't think either one of us have seen it, so this will be a good one to kind of watch and kind of see if it lives up to the hype or not.
Yeah, I've never seen this match. This was I had fallen out of paying attention to TNA at this time, so just knowing who's in it, I just assume it's going to be quality, but not knowing for sure. I'm interested to see what I think about this. It's always fun to just throw on a random match and kind of react to it. So looking forward to it.
So I have the Impact Plus app. So if you have that, you can watch it along with us. I am at, let's see here, 3612, and I'll give you a minute to get there. Like I said, Final Resolution 2008, 3612, and we'll press play here in a minute. Real quickly, I know at the time when both of us were watching the early days of TNA, I know Don West style was never either of ours cup of tea.
Right.
But there's no denying, like, he was, from all accounts, he was a great guy. Yeah. And he is, like, now he's like, I can't think of any of those early years of TNA without hearing his voice and his excitement and his enthusiasm for what was going on there.
Yeah, you can't blame the guy for trying to make the product seem exciting. And I've heard him described as like the ultimate hype man, and you can not like his style, but there's no denying that he's like an iconic part of that company, and he brought something to the table that made their broadcast memorable. It may have been over the top sometimes, but all the greats do that. Like not everyone has a perfect polished rapport online or on a broadcast, but he's fantastic at times, and him and Mike Tenay, that's the JR and King of TNA to me.
Absolutely.
Even though Josh Matthews has done great things and Taz did a lot of great work there, that those two together is what I think of when I think of total nonstop action.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were the, if there ever were the quote-unquote glory years of TNA, that was the team to go that was going during that time. So, yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys are all ready to go, and I'm going to press play here in 3, 2, 1, play. And we see Awesome Kong making her way down to the ring. She is the challenger for the Knockouts Championship in this match.
Do you have any insight whatsoever on what the story is here, or any pre-existing injuries or things that I should be aware of?
As far as injuries, no. From the opening video package to the pay-per-view that I did watch when I was getting kind of our time cue here, it sounds like they debuted the title at Bound for Glory the previous year. So we're about 3 months into the title's existence, and Gail Kim is the inaugural champion, and Awesome Kong has kind of came in and targeted her, trying to win the belt from her. So that's kind of the story. And because Kong keeps, just basically destroying Gail at every turn, they made this a no DQ match.
Fair enough.
So.
And from what I remember of every time Kong came into a company, that was kind of always the starting point. She's the new monster because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be realistic. No one in wrestling looks like her on the female side at this point.
No.
And not only that, but she could work. She was big,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, that clothesline. It's just she looks like she's beating the hell out of people, and that wasn't always the case with women's wrestling at this point.
Mm-hmm. She's over there trying to intimidate the commentators, and and this, like I said, this feud is very highly regarded, not just in TNA history, but in basically, for a nice scorpion kick there.
Yeah, nice.
Obviously, being the leader, WWE gets heralded for the women's revolution that started in 2015. And there, people are like, well, wait a minute. TNA was putting a focus on women's wrestling long before then. So,
and not just a focus, but I mean, they have a reputation of having really good women's matches too.
Yes,
it's. I kind of, when I say I don't watch a lot of Impact or TNA, I kind of regret missing some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, awesome Kong and Gail Kim. You got to expect, knowing what we know now, it's going to be a solid match. But 15 years ago now, this probably wasn't a match people circled as like, this is going to be unbelievable. But maybe I'm wrong too, because I wasn't dialed into the company.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't really dialed into TNA at this time either. I was, in and out. I heard things here and there. But from what I could gather, it was one of those things where going into it, like, I don't know if people were really expecting a lot, but after it was over, people were like, oh, that was fantastic. So
I feel like it's still a thing that happens now, unfortunately, where people underestimate the women's ability to not only have great matches but tell compelling stories and really get an audience engaged. Just look to a couple years ago with Britt and Thunder Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of came out of nowhere, had a hardcore match that caught everyone by surprise, and it's too bad that the women don't get more respect ahead of time.
Yeah. Looks like Gail might be coming in with some sort of hand or wrist injury. Now that I see, she's got some sort of light brace on her left hand. Wow. Just swinging her around in a headlock. That was impressive. Now, Gail Kim, she's the fan favorite in this. She's starting to fire back. See if she can overcome the size differential. Is that Slick Johnson? He's the referee with the shorts.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I think so. I think that was his gimmick. Oh, spinning back. Oh my goodness. What a spinning back fist.
It's really a shame too. Just this limited bit of seeing Kong, but I remember seeing her at a couple Ring of Honor shows, and it's really too bad she never had the national stage like a WWE. I know she was there for a short time, and then I believe she got pregnant and just never came back. But you think a talent like this, with the depth of women's wrestlers all over the world right now, it's too bad she didn't get a chance to really showcase how good she is. Yeah,
for sure. And then, like to your point, by the time AEW came along and they brought her in, she was kind of, not what she was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if she would have been, if timing would have been better, I think she would have. She would have been a bigger star than what she is.
I mean, you could say that for Gail Kim. I mean, people have said that about Gail Kim for years now. She's another one that it's can you imagine her working with Charlotte or Becky now? The great stuff she did with WWE, but if she had segments that were given actual time and story.
Yeah, and not just like, you know, a love triangle with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah. Now we're heading out into the crowd here. Going up. We're in the middle of the impact zone. We're up the stairs.
And I know I don't know because I don't know how long the match is, but I like that early on here too. It's not one of these where it's a hardcore match, so that's how the baby face overcomes the size. Like Gail's still getting just beaten on.
Yeah. Oh, just stepping on her throat in the stands. Gail's able to get a couple shots in to try and create some space, but oh.
Now, someone that's been hit in the head with a plastic Coke bottle before.
Yes.
Those edges, they can do some damage.
Yeah.
Not like a bag of popcorn does.
Right.
But
yeah.
Wow. And you got to give Gail credit too. She's not half-assing these bumps. She's
no. Big chop. Oh. She sees an opening now. Tries to do some damage on that shoulder that Kong just ran into the wall with.
Yeah, and it's the classic if you pick apart a body part, if Gail, weakens the shoulder, that takes away some of Kong's offense.
Referee trying to get him in the ring.
I'm noticing. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, was that just like I saw someone else hop over the? I'm guessing that's just a stagehand or something.
Gotta be.
I'm like, what the heck? Gail's trying to lift her up in the ring if she can't do it.
I'm noticing too. We have the volume off here.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of watching wrestling with no audio. The crowd is into it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I guess I guess that you can say that about TNA fans in general. That especially around this time, their fan base was really committed and really into the product.
Yeah, especially the pay-per-views. Definitely, they seem to be dialed in. Some of the weekly stuff, the criticism, especially from some of the people that worked in TNA, like the Bischoffs of the world. The criticism is, you're doing a show in the same place, especially where they may or may not have to pay to get in. Sometimes it might not be the best, but the pay-per-view crowds always seem to be pretty good crowds here for the pay-per-views here at Universal Studios. It was a good shot of the belt in the foreground there, kind of reminding people what they're fighting for here.
Interesting that it's just laying on the mat and they don't have it at like the timekeeper's table. But
yeah. Oh. Another spinning back fist.
A little sloppy there.
Yeah, that one didn't look nearly as good as the one off the top rope.
Yeah.
While Kim was on the top rope, but that, yeah. I mean, you're also not trying to really kill the person either.
So they're telling a great story here, though. Gail just can't get any momentum going. Every time she gets on the offensive, she's on top for about 20, 30 seconds, and that power it's too much.
Yeah. It's the perfect dichotomy of the giant and the smaller person. Going for. Oh, tried to reverse the chokes. Oh,
nice.
Two. Oh, wow.
That was a little close.
That was close. That was close. Gail's able to get her shoulder up just in the nick of time. That was. And now the heel's arguing with the referee.
I mean, he already told her once not to touch him, and she did. Oh,
Uh-oh.
What is? Well, I guess it's hardcore no DQ, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
Oh, power bomb. Sit out power bomb.
And the fans love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. She's going for
That chair again.
Awesome Kong's got the chair.
Okay.
Oh.
Jeez.
I don't know if yeah. That wasn't
right
the
in the
smartest.
Shoulder.
Oh.
So we're still in the area of unprotected headshots.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, buddy.
You know, when you asked me to come over and I said, well, what are we gonna review? And you're like, I got a couple ideas. We'll go from there. Great splash from Gail Kim there.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it's that time of year. Maybe he's gonna want to watch the I Quit match with Rock and Foley.
Oh no!
And I was just thinking, like, I don't think I could watch unprotected headshots like that anymore. And
no, well,
and we
yeah.
get two of them here.
It's weird if I know, like, if they're in older matches, you know, and I know the people so far to this day are in pretty good shape. Like, I'm not like, it doesn't make me squirm, but like if it happened on Dynamite
SmackDown this week.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, oh, that's not a great idea.
Another kick
out.
Man, Kong's doing a really good job of selling the frustration too.
Yeah,
like, she just can't put her away.
Yeah, she's been
beating up more.
Jeez.
What is his Rock Austin from 17?
Oh. 1, 2.
Wow. That's awesome.
That was a great finish.
And that's a creative finish that made total sense in the story of the match too.
Yes.
If you read Gail Kim gets a roll up on Awesome Kong after the referee is in a powerbomb position, you go, what the hell is that?
Yeah. No, but
seeing it throughout the course of the match, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but we're not done fighting. And here comes security. We're going to try and split them up.
No security to protect the officials, but
no.
Post-match, we'll get security out there.
The beautiful people are out to try and help.
Were they the beautiful people at this point?
I don't know. But that's what I know them as a tandem, so. And now we're just showing highlights of the match, so we can. Yeah, no, that I'd say that's pretty. That was pretty good. I can't remember if I said this on air or before we started recording, but on Cage Match it has an 8.1 rating, and I'd say that was really good.
Yeah,
that was really good. So great stuff there.
Yeah, the finish especially really I think makes that match something to be excited to watch again if you haven't seen it before like us.
Yeah, that
finish kind of came out of nowhere. I was expecting, you told me hardcore match. I thought, there's going to be some sort of big spot. That's how Gail
there really wasn't.
Yeah,
there wasn't really a whole lot. They didn't it was no DQ, but they didn't they weren't like a slave to that stipulation. other than just some fighting in the crowd and a couple but a chair that was like the only weapon in the match. Yeah, it just was really effective.
And it's proof that you can have a stipulation in the match and only go a little bit outside the traditional boundaries of professional wrestling and make that stipulation mean something and still tell a good story in the match without, like you said, just relying on, okay, here's the part where we bring the table out, here's the part where we create some weird contraption that we're going to throw someone into.
Right.
Like let's just let them use a little bit more physicality, a little bit more violence, without going too over the top with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, although I feel like today's fan would be like, "What was the point of that being no DQ? They hardly used any weapons."
Right, which is it's an interesting debate. You and I, we text about it all the time. That like we've hit the point where we're the old heads talking about how that's a really good use, and the new generation would look at something like that and go, it's okay.
Yeah.
It didn't have Becky diving off the top of the stage onto Charlotte, so it wasn't that big of a match or
right.
that big of a spot.
Right. All right, cool. Yeah. Any final thoughts?
No final thoughts. No final resolutions here. Just really, really glad that she called me over and we watched that match.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, if you could, all right, guys. Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and leave a thumbs up on the video, that'd be great, and leave me a good rating and review if you're listening to the audio version. 5 stars, especially on the old Apple Podcasts. That would be great. And subscribe both to the podcast feed and to the channel here. I got some potential real big things cooking for 2023, and yeah, I want everyone to be along for the ride. So, all right. You don't have anything you want to plug?
I have nothing to plug.
Leave you alone?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I don't need the young kids yelling at me on the internet anymore.
Okay, that's cool. Good. All right. Well, then, for Matt Durr, I'm Chris Bordine, and until next time, see ya.